Hi guys, it's Mark from Burton Bibles. Hope you're all well and having a good day so far. I'm just following up my video on the CSB Evangelism Bible with this review of the Holman CSB Ultrathin Reference Bible. I was greatly impressed by the translation. I really liked the easy flow of this translation, the optimal equivalence as they call it. I was a fan of that. And so I thought I would explore the new CSB translation, which I think it's copyrighted 2017. And in particular, I really like the look of this edition, which is an ultra-thin. I quite like a nice, slim Bible. And here we have the branding. It comes in a two-part case. And it will say Christian Standard Bible. There's a lifetime guarantee on it. I don't know if that's a limited lifetime guarantee, but I will certainly be looking into that. But here we have it, and this edition it says faithful and true. I would imagine that's a description of the translation philosophy, and this is in black genuine leather. So it's an ultra-thin reference Bible in black genuine leather. So we have, we'll get into the format of the Bible in a bit, but it is Smith sewn, which is great. And the words of Christ are in red. It's an 8.5 point type. I would say that's a generous description. I would say it's more like an 8 and not a bold 8. So it's certainly less readable than the Cameo from Cambridge, for example, which is a nice bold 8-point font. There are centre column references, there is a small concordance, and there are some full colour maps as well. And then we have a bit about the Bible on the back. There is the ISBN. It retails for $60, but I would imagine you can get it for a lot less than that. It is printed in China. A lot of these Bibles from big publishers nowadays are. But let's have a look at it. The case is okay, it's sturdy. It is two-part cardboard though, so maybe you can do one of those hacks like my good friend Gypsy Lane does, where she cuts the box out and she makes a slipcase from it. That would definitely be something to try. But here we have the CSB Ultrathin Bible from Holman Publishers, and it really is quite attractive when you get it out of the box. It's genuine leather, so let's just take a look at the leather. It's very nice. It's got a feel of a nice soft calf skin, I would say, is what I would compare it to. The grain is not pronounced. It's just a very sort of soft, there we go, we can see it a bit better there, a very soft and smooth pebbly grain to it. This is black. It has silver gilding along the sides. There are no ribs or hubs here, but there are some nice, there's a nice example of perimeter stitching here around the inside of the Bible. It seems to be black on the outside and then red on the inside, which is quite cool. And it's got silver gilding. So you've got a nice colour scheme going on here, very attractive Bible, and there are two ribbons as well. I'm not a big fan of ribbons, but these are quite nice. I like the way they build into the colour scheme. So yeah, they're not too bad. The gilding is okay. I've seen better gilding than this, but this is pretty decent, especially for the price point. I think this probably would retail in the UK for somewhere around £40 to £45, something like that. So it's very nice. It's very, very flexible. You can see that it moulds quite easily in the hand there. So I am a big fan of this cover and the way it looks and the way it's presented. In terms of physical dimensions, let's take a little look at that. We're looking at a Bible here that's about 8.5 tall by about 5 3/4 inches wide, and the width of the Bible is about 1.25 inches. No, a bit less actually, just over an inch. Sorry, you couldn't see that maybe, but yeah, it's just over an inch. So it's not as slim as a Pit Minion, but it certainly is very slim, and it's quite light as well. So let's get into it. We open the front cover, and there is a familiar paste down liner here, but I do like the fact that they've not just gone with a piece of card, a piece of thin papery card like some of the cheaper Nelsons do. This is actually a piece of vinyl backed card. It's not super thick, but that does help with flexibility. But it's certainly very nice. Into the Bible, there is a presentation page, and there is a title sheet which has some information about it. And I do like the way they put the other ISBNs for all the different bindings for this particular Bible, which makes it easy if you did want to, replace this with something and upgrade it, and you were wondering, you wanted to make sure you got the right one, basically. So it is printed in China, and it's from Holman Publishers in the States, Nashville, Tennessee there. We've got a bit of contents. We do have an introduction to the Christian Standard Bible, which tells you a little bit about the translation philosophy. And then, again, we're going straight into the Bible, and here we have it. And here is the layout, dual column, paragraph style, centre column references, but very little to sort of clutter the text. There are some references that are relate to within the text, and all of the sort of more translation style suggestings and rendering suggestings are all down in the footnotes here. And I quite like that. And there are bold numbers to kind of demarcate those particular references. There are small chapter headings and sort of headings to break up the text as well, which again I am a fan of. If I'm reading this sort of Bible, I do like to have the text broken up a little. Now, I did say in my HCSB Evangelism Bible review that the CSB did put the start of each book starts at the top of a new page, which I do quite like that as well. And if we go through, we'll see that each book is starting up here. So that's good. And the chapters are demarcated. They're not as clear as I would perhaps like, and the verses aren't as clear as I would like, but hey, it's a paragraph Bible, so that stands to reason. In terms of the print, you'll see what I mean. It's not a bold print, but you'll see that it is very readable. The artificial lights here always make the opacity look worse than it is, and I can tell you that I have been largely impressed with this paper. It feels like the paper found in the Nelson Know the Word Study Bible, sort of the cheaper Nelson Study Bible. It's not as nice as the paper found in the KJV Study Bible, but it is pretty good. It's not overly thick, hence it's a ultra-thin Bible, but the opacity is pretty good, and it is line-matched as well, which a lot of modern printings are automatically line-matched. So you can probably make that out that the text on each side of the page is matched perfectly. So that helps a lot with the readability as well. So it's very readable. The paper is decent, and the opacity is pretty good for this an ultra-thin Bible. And I like the way that you can navigate through this Bible. It's very flexible, so it lends itself to being, riffled through like this to find what you're looking for. I do quite like a Bible. That's what I like about my Cameo wide margin. There's an example of the red lettering. It's okay. It's not the best red lettering I've seen. It seems a bit fainter than the black. I prefer my Bible print nice and bold, if I'm honest. But this is pretty good. It's not bad. Remember, this is not an expensive Bible. Even though this is a genuine leather Bible, it's still only costing £40 to £45, something like that. So I do quite like it. As a value offering, that is. So let's look at the back. There is a small concordance. It's not great. This isn't a study Bible, let's not forget. There's a table of weights and measures. There's a small concordance, and then there are Bible maps, which I actually do quite like these maps. It doesn't say who they're copyrighted by, but I'd imagine they're perhaps in-house Holman maps. To be honest, I don't recognise them as coming from Zondervan or somebody like that. So I do like these because they're printed on a matte finish card as opposed to a gloss finish card. I know a few people who feel that way, and I would agree. It's always irksome to me when you get to the back and there's just some card which feels ridiculously out of place. It's way too thick and it's glossy, and it just feels like it's been a bit of an afterthought put in. But these are actually decent, really decent maps, and a nice clear presentation of the information that it's trying to show. There's an example of the perimeter stitching. Now I will say that Mine did come with a slight blemish here. There's a sort of a loop of the black stitching, which is obviously on the other side here. I have no idea how they do that, but they've just sort of left it with that. But you know, it's fine. It's fine. We'll all get by. So big fan. Really like it. I've been reading this. I've been doing my daily readings from it. And I do like it. It will lie flat, by the way. When you get towards the beginning of the Bible, though, it doesn't. It will lie flat with time, but you need to get to somewhere around Leviticus and Numbers before it will lie flat. So it's a lovely Bible. It's a good value Bible. I like the translation a lot. In terms of it, where it sits, this is probably as far to the right as I would want to go on that word for word, thought for thought scale. So I like it a lot. It's similar to an NLT or a Good News Bible, perhaps, maybe sitting further over to the left even. But I really like it. I like the sound philosophy in there, and the print and the paper is good, and this little genuine leather cover is actually quite nice, quite impressive. So if I was looking for a Bible that was a more modern translation, something like that, something nice and easy to read, something that sits easily in the hand and is nice and portable and thin, I would certainly give this a look, up there with something like an ESV thin line or something like that. Very nice Bible, very impressed. And I hope you found that interesting and informative. As usual, put any comments, queries, concerns in the comment section, and I look forward to seeing you on another video soon. Take care and God bless. Bye.